Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Infection here, and today I'm bringing you a video on how to actually get to 380 light before the raid. Quickly, I did have some time to grind, probably I want to say close to about 25 hours before the raid. So from Tuesday to Friday morning, about 25 hours of playtime, and this is on my hunter. I did everything initially on my warlock, so I'm actually 381 on my warlock, but as you can see, yeah, that's the raid shotgun, 383, but I had my LD or my 1000 yard at 382 before this. So all this stuff you can get before the raid. It can be 381. I was on my lock, so step by step initially what I did to help me get up there. So we're just gonna go straight through, boys. Okay. All right. So first thing I did was I had 200 legendary marks stored up, and I also had a bunch of weapons. I want to say probably close to 30 weapons that I had leveled up with moats or just used to level up. They're from like crucible drops, shotguns that were awful like in times of need and stuff like that. Doctrines, trials weapons, different things like that. So I had 20 legendary marks, and I didn't even use bounties, right, for the 25. Like, I still have my 25 legendary mark bounties here. So initially, I had 200 legendary marks, so I came to, I couldn't remember if it's Crucible or Dead Orbit or whatever, but I bought gauntlets, I bought boots, I bought a chest, and of course that's 225 legendary marks. So you'd have to dismantle some of your gear to get those marks.
Okay.
And then I bought a ghost and I think a cloak. Okay, so I already had 5 pieces that were 350. So I got boosted up to about 340. I want to say 344, or something like that, pretty close to that. And then what I did was, and I wish I would have waited, but I used a couple of my faction packages. So I went over to the faction packages and used some of those. But what I wish I would have done is just grinded strikes, weekly strikes, and make sure and play through the story. You'll get a few drops. The biggest thing about it, guys, is that the drops from strikes, the actual initial drops, no engrams, just the drops that are just drop from bosses, they will drop up to 365, right? They're not gonna always drop at 365, so don't get that confused. They'll just drop a little bit above what that initial piece is for you. So let's say if you're 380, then, or let's say I'm 380, what's my weakest thing right now? 376 boots. So, but I'm 380 light. So if I got, let's say, a pair of boots dropped for me, they would be 380, 381, something like that. Okay, now granted, the rares only go up to 365 and drops, but you get my point. Okay, so do strikes, grind strikes, and this is the guide that for people that don't have tons of exotic engrams, tons of this, tons of that, just trying to get up to raid level. And let me tell you, the raid felt like a long strike. It was not that bad at all if you're around 380. So try to grind it and get there. But like I said, do strikes, grind them out, and do a lot of them. And you can do that until 365. Now, when you get to a point like 359, 358, it kind of gets a little bit grindy. Same with 349, 348, somewhere like that. It's hard to get over the mountain of 350 or 360, 370, 380, right? Those 10s, it takes a little bit of time to grind over that. But in those cases, if you have any exotic engrams, use those. And for example, again, guys, I'll reiterate this. If this is my lowest piece, 376, and I'm 380 light, then I'm going to get an exotic engram. Or if you're not 365 yet, get a legendary engram, because legendaries will only drop to 365 with engrams. Okay, if it drops from the Crucible, then it'll be over your light level. But if you have legendary engram like this in your vault, then like this is only going to drop 365 for me. It will not go over 365. So use those before you get to 365 if you want them to help you level up, and help them help yourself, and use them at like 359, 349, you know, things like that, or levels like that, because it'll help you get over that mountain. And once you get to 365 on strikes, use your exotic engrams and faction packages to rank up farther. Do it in that order. If not, then you're just gonna waste your faction packages. I probably used about 3,000 heavy ammo synth, about 12 to 15 exotic engrams, and I probably had about 4 or 5 Crucible or Vanguard packages to help me get to 380, to help me get there, to 381 actually. And I got a couple drops from the Crucible, probably 2 or 3 weapon drops. So, you know, that's pretty much the most solid way that you can get there. But guys, don't forget, use your legendary engrams before you get to 365, or else you're just wasting them. If you're saving them, if for light leveling anyways, you're just gonna waste them. If you're gonna try to use them after 365, it just doesn't work. And I've heard numerous YouTubers say, you know, use the legendary engrams after you get to 365, they'll give you higher light level. They don't. They always drop at 365, and that's kind of why I'm making this guide, is because I've heard people, you know, say that do this, do that, but it's just not, you know, it wasn't conducive. I got to 380 on about 25 hours, or 27 hours, whatever I said at the beginning was probably more accurate, on grinding, you know, for those amount of hours. And I had about 4 or 5 weeks to prepare because I was playing COD for so long. So I came back and did Destiny. I was like, I gotta get ready, and that's what I did. So, you know, this guide isn't for the people who had 40 or 50 exotic engrams saved up and all that. But yeah, guys, I hope that helps a little bit. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to address them, and if I need to make a follow-up video for it, then I will, and address some of that stuff. Real quick, buy as many pieces as you can. If you're below 350, buy as many 350 pieces as you can from vendors. Then grind strikes, and I would advise using a Zalo Supercell for this week because it's ARC. Then grind strikes until 365. Then use your faction packages, your Vanguard packages, your Crucible packages, your exotic engrams after 365. Also, strike chests can drop stuff over 365, which is also useful. And if your artifact is lagging, like mine is 379, open up one of the strike packages, and usually they have artifacts in them that drop over what your artifact is, and it'll be a rare. And I had a rare drop at 379 the other day, which is what I put in this. So use your strike chest. If you have a bunch of skeleton keys and you're over 365, boom, use it. It'll drop a legendary that is over. The same place I got this Hood of Malik at. 380, drop 380. I was 376 headpiece when I had this drop for me. So, guys, and you just keep on doing that. Just rinse and repeat with exotic engrams and drops from vendors and everything, okay? Like I said, if you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. But that is the end of the video, guys. I hope I made that as clear as I could. I'm kind of doing this in a rush, 9 minutes or so, just because I want people to know, and so you can maybe get the raid done this weekend. And if not, Trials is next weekend, and you don't want to be 350 going up against a bunch of 380, 390 people. It's just going to be, you know, that much harder on yourself. And, you know, you have a week to prepare, and you can definitely do this in a week, guys. You can definitely split out, you know, 1 or 2 hours each day. And my battery just died. So, guys, don't forget to keep it classy. That is the end of this video. Peace.